Welcome, everybody. I guess I gotta turn off my filters for this, right, James? Yep. Gotta turn off noise suppression. Actually, I'm not gonna turn off. Yeah, no, I'll turn off both. Whatever. Or turn it back on when you come back. Kurt, what were you doing there? Huh. That, that's a riff from Blue, and it sounds a little bit kind of like the beginning of Serve the Servants, doesn't it? Hmm. I don't know. Well, I guess I can look that up. Right? I can still do that. How does that opening lick for Serve the Servants go? 212. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's familiar. Good enough. All right, guys. I'm just jamming here before I get ready for the 10:30 show. Trying to get loose. Hmm. I don't know. Sounds weird. Yeah. Yes. James, did you set this up properly? You should have. Yes. We're rocking. No. Try difference? That sounds a little better than. Although I do like that. Yeah, it'd be hard to switch. No, that doesn't sound right. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes until showtime. that's how you. Hey, that's how riffs come up, guys. You just jam. I didn't know that I was gonna do that. I wasn't thinking about trying to do that, but it happened. And we gotta save that for the riff bank. All right, let's get set up here, James. Ah, yes. Lots of juicy stuff to talk about today. Ah, In Utero. Good album. Are we ready to rock and roll? 10:30 it is, James. Let's do this. Well, I do see a little bit of a change I want to make. Open with paint. There we go. Let's do it. Oh, I gotta turn on my filters again. Oh my God, Jesus. Noise suppression, limiter. Let's do it. Close. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including Tim Burton talking about Beetlejuice 2. And that Flash cameo with Nicolas Cage, huh? Yeah, we talked about that on the weekend. We'll talk about that. A bunch of people in the news behaving a little bit. Drew Barrymore, Russell Brand, Sylvester Stallone, not so much. So that's a good headline. We'll talk about that. House of the Dragon Season 2 details. Jason Statham has a new movie opening up this week. Is anybody going to go see it? Do you even know what it's called? You guys don't even know what movie it's called. We'll talk about that. And, yeah, we got some other hit or miss headlines that we'll get into. But we start off today by talking about the weekend's box office report and The Nun 2 coming in at the number 1 spot. My God. Oh, yes, this is for the weekend of September 15th to the 17th, 2023. The top 5 spots go. Number 1, The Nun 2. Number 2, A Haunting in Venice. Number 3, The Equalizer 3. Number 4, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. And number 5, Barbie. Barbie still hanging in there in the 5th spot with 3.9 million. But the number 1 spot goes to The Nun 2 for the second week in a row. And they got to be super happy about that. The only new opening this week was A Haunting in Venice, opening up in the 2nd spot. Kenneth Branagh, 14.5 million is not enough to crack 14.7. I told you it was going to be close. I thought Haunting in Venice would make more than 15 million. And it still could by the time that the end of the day is done. It's only a matter of 230,000, but that could tweak it just enough over by the time the official Sunday's numbers finalize. But it's not going to be that big of a difference. For all intensive purposes, we can say that Nun 2, number 1 spot for a worldwide total of 158 million in its second week. And that's great for The Nun. The Nun 2, I was a little bit harsh on in my review. I think I gave it like a 5.5 at the end of the day. It should have been a 6 because it's still, I'm still thinking about it. And that's what good art should do, right? And the Nun 2 budget was only like 38.5 million, so that turnaround, it's already gotten its money back domestically. So the Nun 2, for the $38 million budget, 158 worldwide, yeah, we're getting a Nun 3 no matter what, guys. People are showing up for this. They are. And I gotta think that I like The Nun 2 much better than The Nun. I do. And as I said, my criticisms of it were pretty harsh. But it's not a film that I hated. So Nun 2, number 1 spot, I think that's good. At least for Warner Bros. And people of the Nun fandom. will find that happy. But A Haunting in Venice opened up this week as well, guys. So let's take a look at that. A Haunting in Venice. Kenneth Branagh coming back as Hercule Poirot to solve a murder mystery in Venice at a seance. Domestically, 14.5 is not going to be not that good. But traditionally, these other past movies, now the other two in the franchise, Murder on the Orient Express, did a little bit better because it had a bigger cast, and it was like, oh, what's Kenneth Branagh going to do with this character, right? Or is he going to be good? Death on the Nile struggled because it came out during the pandemic time, so it was kind of like it was still trying to recover from all that stuff, and was like, should we release it or shouldn't we? We'll push it, and then it got So that one I understand had a lower box office, but this one there's no. The only excuse I can think of is to why this didn't come out in October as opposed to September, because it's got that. That Halloween vibe to it. It's about, it's not scary, but it's got the motif of it being kind of like, ooh, it being a bit more of a darker thriller. And opened with 1.2 million in previews at the Thursday box office. So is Haunting in Venice making 37.2 worldwide good enough? Well, it's got a $60 million budget. It's only going to be opening up against that Jason Statham film this week that I don't know if anybody's going to go see. Is anybody even talking about that movie? We will in just a little bit. I'm trying to drop hints here, guys. But I liked Haunting in Venice. I did. And the people who saw it, they liked it as well. It's a quality film. It's just, for me, it seems like this was not the right time to drop this film to get most people kind of excited about it, right? We're not quite to the Halloween season just yet. And it just goes to prove, like, look at Nun 2 having such huge success. And while critics didn't like it, audience liked it. And critics, they're harder on it, myself included. And it made a whole bunch more money than something that a lot of people seem to like. It's really strange, and it's part of that box office mix where it's kind of like Haunting in Venice had better reviews. People who saw it liked it better than The Nun 2, but The Nun 2 is just of that genre. It's got that aesthetic that people like, that get more people out to see it. There's a mix there that Haunting in Venice is not quite tapping into, and I don't know why, because it was a good film. The studio, Walt Disney, can't be too happy again with Walt Disney. They're not having the greatest of years, guys. Not that we should pity them. They're $1 billion company, so come on. I wanted to pull that Thursday number, though, because remember when Barbie was making like, what was it, 23.5 million on its Thursday night previews, which is super high. Most Thursday night previews, they only range between 7 to 12 million. 12 million is good for a Thursday night preview in revenue. 1.2 is low. It is low. Average is around 3 to 5 on Thursday night previews. 3 to 7, actually, I would say. Haunting in Venice it was a film that nobody was talking about. Yeah, we talked about that all last week. I was trying to say, hey man, maybe we should check this one out. But other than that, no, wasn't happening. So, looking at the box office, Equalizer 3 in the third spot, 7 million. How much does that have worldwide total now? I like the Equalizer 3. You got 3 good films of different types there in the top 3 this week. So you definitely had choice and variety. Equalizer 3, 132 million worldwide. What was the budget for Equalizer 3? I forget. $70 million. So 70 million. Yeah, it's Equalizer 3 is good. That's good. What do you guys have any other observations here about this box office? Joanne came close to going out to see it. I want to see Dumb Money had small opening 8 theaters this week. That's going to open up a lot more. The Inventor, not to be confused with The Creator. Radical Wolf. What the heck is Radical Wolf? A distinctive style, all of his own, author and journalist Tom Wolfe reshapes how American stories are told. Okay. Never even heard of it. Yeah. So, what's going to happen next week? Statham has a couple of movies in the pipeline. The Beekeeper is scheduled for January 2024 release. Well, he's got a movie coming out this week, and it's going to... Oh, well, okay, here it is, guys, straight up. Nun 2 and Haunting in Venice will get chopped in half to around... They'll be under the $10 million mark next week. So anything that opens up, including that new Jason Statham movie, should be more than $10 million. And if it's not, oh God, it'll be one of the monstrous bombs of the year. But it's not. So let's go take a look at some of the theater listings for this weekend. And there it is, guys, right there. That's the Jason Statham movie that we're talking about. Expendables 4. Yes. You can go see it Thursday, 6:35. No, we'll not be seeing it at 6:35. You got a 4 o'clock show? Do you have a 4 o'clock show for the Expendables? Doesn't look like it. That sucks. The Retirement Plan also comes out. Dreamgirl 2. Huh. Fascinating. And then there's It Lives Inside at 4:10, and it looks like that's the one that I'll be going to see. It Lives Inside, because Expendables doesn't have a 4 o'clock show here. For God's sakes, man. It's not even going to be... See, you know it's not good when the theaters don't put the new movie out in the AVX theater with the big sound, because Expendables 4 doesn't earn the right to push the Nun 2 out of the AVX theater. Wow. Not even Haunting in Venice pushed the Nun 2 out. Fascinating. Maybe that's why Nun 2 did a little bit better in the box office, because it was still in the high quality theater. Really, really fascinating. So what is It Lives? Yeah, I had to look this up. It Lives is a, I don't know, I don't know if she's East Indian or something, but she's got like this jar that's like cursed or something. And there's a monster that lives inside of it. They do say the name of this monster in the previews, but you guys know how I am about horror. I'm going to be going to see this before Expendables 4.
From those who love you, and if anyone tries to help you, it will hurt them. Why whispering?
Yeah, hold on. They say the name here. Yeah, that's creepy. So is it a ghost?
It needs to tenderize the soul by attacking your sanity.
Tenderize the soul, huh? I do like that. Premise of that. Tenderize the soul. Why did I freeze frame it?
My stomach drops every time she appears out of thin air like that.
Yeah, that's creepy. There's a girl there holding the jar. It's kind of like a mix-up of It Follows with like a Dybbuk box.
Thin air like that. There's something.
Yeah. So I'll be seeing this over Expendables 4. And here's why, guys. Here's why, straight up. I kind of already know what we're going to get with Expendables 4. It's action. There's going to be a bad guy that Sylvester Stallone's character will come to Jason Statham and say, okay, we need you to go do this thing. And he'll go do that thing. He'll take out the bad guy. There'll be some CGI schlock action sequence in the end with the big battleship. Some one-liners. And that's what you're going to get for Expendables 4. Excitement level. And it sucks because I like Jason Statham. For some people, that stuff is the draw. It truly is. But just like superhero fatigue. redundant action fatigue is. It's definitely, that's been there from the 80s, right? There's nothing about the Expendables 4 trailer that caught my eye, but now watching the trailers here for It Lives Inside, definitely it's got my interest. Because it looks creepy, man. Yeah, what's this guy in chains? Being all messed up. Yeah, so have I seen something like this before? Yes. Is it the bad thing that will get thwarted at the end? Probably. Can I use that same argument for this kind of horror stuff? I just prefer the feeling and mood of this, that's all. Because I do like horror. Shanter? Are they saying some kind of a prayer there or something? They do name the beast in one of these trailers. I forgot what it is, though.
All the stories we heard growing up, they're all true. It lives inside. Yeah,
I like that. It lives inside. Some kind of monsters. From the producers of Get Out. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's opening up this weekend. Against that, we're between It Lives Inside and Expendables 4. Expendables 4 will get people out there. It'll be number 1. And then I think, yeah, It Lives Inside will be number 2. Then Haunting in Venice. Then Nun 2. And then Equalizer 3 will be round out the top 5. Yeah. That's the way I'm thinking. Let's take some live chat here. Blue Beetle is still in the top 10 and is clawing its money back, but will probably never make a profit. A horror. You hate horror? No, I don't. The Ring and Gothica vibes from It Lives Inside. I'm hoping Expendables 4 gets more insane than Meg 2. Well, I hope it does too. I hope. Well, I'm not rooting against Expendables 4. I'll see it probably at a matinee or something. Curse Book, Necronomicon, perhaps. It Lives Inside is what The Exorcist should be. Take the possessions outside instead of the filming on room. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about it. That's what I want to. Hey, if you're curious about something, out of the two, Expendables 4, It Lives Inside. I'm the minority here, though, guys. I know I'm the minority. That people will want to see Expendables 4. So that's how that's going to work. Kenneth Branagh. Haunting in Venice. It was a noble attempt. It was. Well, let's take a look at Kenneth Branagh because there's a poll up on Joe Blow that I thought we could participate in. Favorite Kenneth Branagh directed film? Because he directed Haunting in Venice and much of the other ones. So let's take a look at their list. See where I'm going to cast my vote. Henry V. Oh yeah, that one. That put him on the map for a lot of people, right? Was that his first one that he directed? Henry V. Is that the one where he's like the king and he goes down amongst his men and he says that speech, I am just but a man. What am I but a man or something? Right? Is that one? Dead Again doesn't ring a bell. It does sound familiar though. Peter's Friends I don't know anything about. Dead Again. Oh yeah, that's right, with Emma Thompson, right? Andy Garcia. What the heck is it about? A woman who has lost her memory is taken to a Los Angeles orphanage, and a private eye is enlisted to track down her identity, but he soon finds out that he might have a past life connection to her that endangers their lives. That looks a little bit more like Robin Williams there. What the heck? Robin Williams in this? Yeah, right there. Dr. Cozy Carlisle. Might have to revisit this one. Fascinating. Yeah, that's not going to be number 1. But what do you guys think? What's one that jumps out at you? Thor. A lot of people like Thor. That might be up there. Cinderella. Yeah, people like the live-action adaptation of Cinderella with Lily James. Kate Blanchett was like the evil mother in that one, right? Murder on the Orient Express, people liked. All is true. Artemis Fowl, complete bomb. Nope, no. Belfast, I know that a lot of people like. Critically, people like Belfast a lot. But my choice is going to go to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. James, seriously. Yeah, actually, I like the Frankenstein, his version of that. A lot, actually. Robert De Niro. So, let's see what would you guys think that Thor's going to be number one? Let's submit my vote and see what the results are. We'll start at the bottom here. What didn't get any votes? Magic Flute. Oh, yeah, probably. No votes. No votes for Love Labor's Lost either. Artemis Fowl got a vote? 4 votes, huh? Still fairly early in the polls. Hamlet. Oh, really? Hamlet only there. Belfast, yeah, got up there. Dead Again. So that movie Dead Again people liked. I wonder if we can track that down on Tubi or something and take a look. Frankenstein's number 2, and then, yeah, Thor's number 1. That doesn't shock me. It's MCU. It's probably the highest grossing film of his. So, what do you guys think about that? Are you Kenneth Branagh films of his repertoire of directing? Go vote on that poll. Let me know. All right, Jason Statham. Yeah. Jason Statham, of course, is going to be in Expendables 4 this week, but this article up on MovieWeb got my attention. 10 major roles that Jason Statham turned down or didn't get. Really? Fascinating. Yeah. Let's see what they've got here in their list. Number 10, Desolation Williams, Ghost of Mars, 2001. So Ghost of Mars. So he was up for, he wanted Ice Cube's role in that movie? Fascinating. It's been a while since I've seen Ghost of Mars, too. Might have to revisit that one. Private Cooper, Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers. Did I see Dog Soldiers? Huh. Hitman. Number 8 is Hitman. Oh. Well, yeah. Timothy Olyphant is definitely a better actor. Like, he's got more range, more ability. Yeah, if I can find Dog Soldiers on Tubi or something, maybe we should check that out as well. Geez, we got to check out a lot of stuff. What did I say? I said Dog Soldiers? What else did I say? I said that Kenneth Branagh one, Dead Again. I want to look for that. But yeah, Hitman, that didn't work. Both times that they tried it, it didn't work. Thomas Shelby, Peaky Blinders. Really? He auditioned for Cillian Murphy's role? No, you're not. Cillian Murphy obviously has got way much more talent. I haven't watched an episode of Peaky Blinders. I should, though, because it's got Tom Hardy in it and it's got a good cast. I just never got around to it. Owen Shaw. Oh, so he was up for the first brother, right? Who played that? Luke Evans, right? That's Luke Evans. He was the original Owen Shaw, right? And then his brother Deckard. So he wanted to play the first brother. Fascinating. That's number 6. James, have you seen Crank? Says Byford. Yes, I think I have. That's the one where he's got to keep his heart going above a certain pace, right? Frank Martin, The Transporter Refueled. All right. He was the transporter, though. What? Transporter. Jason Statham ended up backing out of the lead role in The Transporter Refueled. Statham's refusal to sign on for the 4th film ultimately came down to a business decision, and that's why they recast Ed Skrein. Okay. Captain Britain. Civil War. What? There was no Captain Britain in Civil War. What are you talking about? I know there were talks about maybe. No. What? Jason Statham was approached to play Captain Britain in Captain America Civil War. Could see that maybe. I don't know. Daredevil. Bullseye. He was going to be playing Bullseye in Daredevil on the TV show. TV show, I can understand that he wouldn't want that. SAS Commander Randolph, Daisy Scarlet Semper Occultus. What? Occultus? What the heck is that? I don't even know what the heck that is. Is that a TV show or something? Way back in 2004, Kate Beckinsale was in talks to play a super spy in the vein of Jason Bourne and James Bond in a movie tentatively called Daisy Scarlet Semper Occultus. Occultus. That rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? I wonder why this movie didn't get made. Riding high from the early success of Underworld franchise, Beckinsale had prime cachet as a damage-dealing action star. Yeah, she did. And it sucks. Kate Beckinsale is somebody who should be much bigger than she is. So initial reports claiming that Statham would be playing a character, Commander Randolph. Unfortunately, the movie was never made. Despite the film's disappointing fate, 2004 was still a solid year for Statham. Having a bit part in Collateral. Very bit part. He just walks by Tom Cruise in the nightclub part, right, as a handoff or something. He just walks by him. Bit part. He doesn't even say anything, I don't think. Made a first villainous turn as kidnapper in action thriller Cellular. I would have liked to see him take on a little bit more of a villain role too, and more comedy roles like in Spy. Statham is good. He doesn't have the widest range. Unknown Marvel movie. What? While promoting Spider-Man No Way Homecoming, Kevin Feige revealed that Statham had again been considered for an MCU role. Huh. Quote, I was in another meeting a few days later and my cell phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered it, and it was Jason Statham. Feige recalled. He was saying, sorry it didn't work out, maybe next time. He couldn't have been nicer. Huh. So he turned down roles multiple times for the MCU, which is weird because you think something like that would fall in his wheelhouse. That Peaky Blinders one is curious. Yeah. But we'll see how well Expendables 4 turns out for him this week. Again, we seem to be in a lull here. Nobody's talking about new movies coming out. Nobody's talking about Expendables 4. Last week, nobody was talking about Haunting in Venice. There seems to be in a vacuum here. And could it be because these actors are not allowed to go out and promote these movies? That there's like that, even that little minor platform is not getting word of mouth out there to generate buzz for these movies. It's possible. It's not a far out there idea. Arglass Viking says, I haven't watched Peaky Blinders either. I'll wait to finish and then let the hype die down. I hear that it's good though. How long are the episodes for Peaky Blinders? If they're not an hour and 20 minutes each, then it's a possibility. Whoops. Let me pull up Peaky Blinders is on Netflix, right? Okay, so 57 minutes. Ugh. God, guys. Well, it's only 57 minutes, James. 6 episodes is the first season, huh? How many seasons? 6. So it's 6 episodes per season. Might have to get into it. I don't know. Maybe over on Twitch we can do that. And just steamroll it. Anya Taylor-Joy's in it? That settles it. We're watching it. There, you sold me. Just got to say Anya Taylor-Joy. I'll try to set that up and queue it up, guys. We'll start going through some Peaky Blinders episodes. All right. Where are we at? Hey, They're on my other social media handles, guys, talking about Twitch. We do a lot of twitching over there. We play World of Warcraft. We went through all of Final Fantasy VII Remake. This week, I think we are going to be starting up Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider? I played the first Tomb Raider on PlayStation 3, so the second one. We'll play the second one. Yeah, looking forward to getting into that. But I want to get into more of the movie stuff too. I want to get back into watching movies with you guys and series. Next week, not this Wednesday, but next week, Survivor season 45 starts up. So we're going to have a lot of content here on the channel. And I recommend that if you like this kind of stuff, this live stuff too, by all means, we got a nice, cool community in here talking in the live chat that you can be a part of. But my review for Haunting in Venice is up on the channel right now. Go check that out. Trailer reactions for Aquaman 2, including my breakdown video, is up there. Ahsoka season 1, episode 5 is up right now on the channel, guys. And wow, I agree with most people saying that, yeah, that's a good episode. Get to Know Me episode, I rank my Big Rec songs. Of course, my review for Nun 2 is also up there. And then, of course, you know that we do movie news here at least 3 times a week, depending on how much news there is. There's definitely lots to talk about for sure. Arglass says, I'm getting to grips with WoW. I've never played it, but interesting to watch the chaos unfold. Yeah, well, World of Warcraft is there's so many facets of the game. You can go out there and that big world map that I fly out to sometimes, you can just go out there and quest, do all the quests. You can farm materials like for professions, or you can do what I do. I play player versus player and go into battlegrounds and try to get objectives like capture the flag and stuff like that. Big fun games. Or you can do raiding content. You can do content where you go into dungeons. You can work with 40 other people to take down big monsters and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of fun, man, and that's what I want to do. That's why I like WoW, because there's so many different facets, different styles and different ways to play that game. That's why I like it. Anyway, hey, if you like that stuff, it's over on Twitch, and if you like this kind of stuff too, I need to put up a poll for a new Grumpy Man Reacts. Maybe next week we'll bring back Grumpy Man Reacts. I'll throw in the live action Little Mermaid into that poll. I'll take you guys' suggestions for what else. Well, we didn't watch Turning Red, right? Maybe that should be in there as well. Maybe the remake of Cinderella, talking about Kenneth Branagh. Yeah. All right. Where are we at? Superhero fatigue. Are we? Yes, there is no doubt that 2023, somebody who tries to sell you that, no, superhero movies are fine. Look at it. We got, what they're doing is they're pointing to one diamond in the rough kind of thing, and they're trying to ignore it. That makes up for all the other ones that are not succeeding. Are superheroes on hiatus? Examining 2023's superhero fatigue. Well, yeah. And everybody, because of this, they're tracking that Aquaman 2 is going to also underperform because of this fatigue. That's here. It's real. There's no denying it. Box office numbers prove it. But James, it happened way before too. And look at other movies like Joker and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They all did well. Again, you're just pointing to the one thing. It used to be every superhero movie that came out was good, and people went out in droves to see them. It's just not happening anymore. Look at The Flash. One of the year's big, huge bombs. It's just not going to happen. And it sucks because I actually like The Flash. But yeah. So what does this article go on to say? They say that the Avengers Endgame was the biggest play. I don't think so. And I was looking at somebody else's criticism of the MCU the other day, and they said Marvel didn't really play all the cards of what Thanos was about. Like they said that Thanos in the MCU that we know, he wanted to snap his fingers. He wanted the Infinity Stones because he wanted to create balance in the universe. But his motivations in the comics were much more detailed than that. Like there was like the entity Death. He was in love with her, right? And he wanted to prove that his worthiness to her by also wiping out half of the universe by snapping his fingers. So there was other angles there that they could have delved in more with Thanos, which would have been curious because if they open that door to death and stuff and opening up that plane, then there's more wiggle room to expand upon. Like maybe she saw that like he got bested and now she wants revenge on the Avengers and stuff like that, and it just grows and expands like that. But that's the angle I was thinking. But yeah, for a lot of people, Endgame was like the swan song. Because it was for the main characters. It was for the main slate of Avengers. Tony was gone. Black Widow was gone. Captain America was gone. And sadly, because of Chadwick Boseman's death, Black Panther's gone. So for a lot of people, it was the big swan song. And then the Phase 4, with its all over the place, kind of like, what's Phase 4 doing here? This is not leading anywhere. What's happening? Kind of thing. That has still carried over into Phase 5. Remember, we heard the report, so don't worry. Once Phase 5 starts, you'll understand exactly where Phase 4 was going. Well, I don't know where it's going. All I know is that it's going to have to deal with some multiverse stuff that I wish that they would just get rid of and sweep underneath the rug, but we're going to have to go through the multiverse stuff to its conclusion with Kang Dynasty, hopefully. Secret Invasion set up a lot of interesting ideas for what Secret Wars could be about, but nobody watched Secret Invasion. Nobody cares about alternate identities and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of like, we're still, like, who, if I were to ask somebody right now, who are the members of the Avengers? Now, going forward, we've had Phase 4 and Phase 5 without an Avengers movie. Who's in the Avengers? We don't know. That's just like, my God. You would suspect that Doctor Strange would be? No. What about Shuri? It was Black Panther. Possibly. What about Shang-Chi? Is he in the Avengers? It seemed like he was going to be, but I don't know. Captain Marvel is no. So it's kind of like, yeah. There's just directionless feel to it that's like contributing to this fatigue. And it's on both sides of the MCU and DCU, right? With James Gunn throwing in his rebooted universe. Should we even be going to see The Flash? Do we need to see Aquaman now that it's going to get all rebooted? Is there a point to it? That stuff is affecting it as well. Hits of 2023 and the changing trends. Now they're showing Ninja Turtles here in its changing trends. Was Ninja Turtles really a success? It had a $130 million budget and $167 million worldwide. I wouldn't really call that a success. Okay, no, it had a $70 million budget. My bad. $70 million budget. Yeah, it's broken even, but I wouldn't call it a smashing success like Super Mario or Barbie, which it should be. And you've heard me go on that rant before. I just didn't like the animation style. They go out and say that, oh yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But look, that was successful, James, and that's superhero. It's also animated though, and it's something that's on its own. It's not part of a shared universe. Well, sort of. It does have its own Spider-Verse movie universe, but it's not going to be tied to like the MCU or anything. What can turn it around? The only thing that's really going to turn it around is having a long string of good quality films. And the MCU is still recovering from its initiatives of let's just flood the market with a whole bunch of stuff and hope that a lot of people like it. And we don't really care too much about the quality of stuff. And yeah, that burned out a lot of people. It did. And then, of course, as I said, with James Gunn on the DC side, it's kind of like people just don't know where everything lands right now. And that's why James Gunn should have just come out and said the Snyderverse is Elseworld stuff, including everything now. Flash is Elseworlds, upcoming Aquaman will be Elseworlds. It'll be open for the possibility that someday, sometime again, that stuff will tie back into the new universe that we're going to move forward. But you should still go out and see the new stuff because, yeah, eventually it could come back and tie back in. That's all he had to say. But instead, people are like, do we need to bother to see it? Do we need to go see Aquaman 2? It does have its fan base, though, and it does have some possibilities out there. But, yeah, comic book fatigue is here for sure. I'm sure excited about the House of the Dragon Season 2, James says. Chris Schober, oh, yeah, me too. Let's talk about Tim Burton, though. And Beetlejuice 2. This is curious. Beetlejuice 2 director reveals Michael Keaton had no burning desire to reprise the titular role. And that's, that's been a known fact for a while. Ever since they had a treatment for a script called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I don't know. Michael Keaton has said a couple times, it's like, I don't know if I really want to do this, guys. So it's been like that's been his mentality for a while. And he caught lightning in the bottle with his first Beetlejuice. It went on to have like comic books and cartoons made about him. So it definitely had resonating value in the fan base that people were clamoring for a little bit more. And I don't doubt that Michael Keaton was kind of like, should we really go back to this? What if we can't make it fly? Well, he went back to Batman for The Flash and the Batgirl movie that got canceled. But I guess Tim Burton made his pitch to him and said, yeah, here's what we're doing. Are you interested in? And there was something about his pitch that made him go, yeah, I want to come back to that. So Tim Burton's quote on this says, quote, he was the same way. He didn't want to do it initially. He had no necessarily burning desire, but I had to say, it was the most fun. It reminded me of back in the old days, this unhinged thing unleashed on set. I was quite shocked at how easy it was for him to kick it back into it. It was like demonic possession. Yeah, you hear about that, about the first Beetlejuice, that a lot of that stuff, like in the honking of the, like, growing, like the raspberry and stuff like that, all of that was like, it had to have been through the process of, just on set kind of improv, right? Just I'm in character. I'm doing all these crazy things. Let me just work with this scene and experiment. Like, I love that stuff. I love doing that stuff. That's what I like working with actors, and oh man, just crafting it, hammering things out, and yeah, a lot of that stuff. I'm sure as an actor, Michael Keaton appreciates, and that's one of the things about acting that I think a lot of people like doing. So that's cool that he was able to snap back into that and get into that mind frame. Of course, Beetlejuice 2 has Jenna Ortega in it. Really looking forward to that. Yeah. But talking about Tim Burton, another quote that came out on the weekend. I can't remember if we did this during a Twitch stream, but or did we talk about this on Friday as well? Maybe we did. Just to recap, he slams the Nicolas Cage superhero cameo. Really? I thought he liked it. He says, I'm in quiet revolt against all of this. So yeah, if you didn't know, Tim Burton was going to direct Superman Lives, a story about Nicolas Cage's Superman. There's a good documentary out there by John Schnepp about it, where you get to see him try on the different Superman costumes. And of course, in The Flash, there was the CGI cameo of Nicolas Cage. And I guess he didn't like it. So he says about this, he says, no, I don't have any regrets about Superman Lives. When you work that long on a project and it doesn't happen, it affects you for the rest of your life because you get passionate about things, and each thing is an unknown journey. And it wasn't quite there yet, but it was one of those experiences that never leave you for a little bit. Yeah. So The Flash, when he fights a giant spider. Yeah, Burton says, but it goes into another AI thing. And this is why I think I'm over it with the studio. They think they can take what you did, Batman or whatever, and culturally misappropriate it, or whatever you want to call it, Burton said. Even though you're a slave of Disney or Warner Bros., they can do whatever they want. So in my later years of life, I'm in quiet revolt against all of this. Yeah, because they can take certain things, like his version of Batman with Michael Keaton, and alter his storyline a little bit. Although I think most of us were under the understanding that that was a different version of Batman. Although they said it's not supposed to be. I don't know. Whatever. I still liked him. It was just cool to see him back. But as far as that cameo, the Superman cameo, I thought it was a gallant effort. It was a noble attempt to try to give us fans a little bit of fan service. It just, the execution of it was, ugh. And the more I think about the Christopher Reeve, Helen Slater cameos in that too, it's like, ugh, guys, yeah, stinky. All right, let's talk about House of the Dragon Season 2. Something I'm looking forward to. House of the Dragon Season 2 premiere title and plot details reportedly revealed. Okay, well, first of all, it's not going to be 10 episodes. We know it's going to be a shorter season, 8 episodes. That's fine. I don't care about the length of the 6-episode seasons are fine. That's why I'm a little bit more on board with trying to get through Peaky Blinders. I'm really looking forward to House of the Dragon Season 2 because we did watch alongs here on this channel, guys, and I really liked the first season a lot. Rhaenyra, great character. Looking forward to seeing more of her. So, okay. According to a report published by Redanian Intelligence, the first episode of the next installment is going to be called A Son for a Son. Now, I think that's a bit old information. That sounds familiar. A son for a son, referring to the letter that Daemon writes to Rhaenyra in the book after he loses her son. The letter reads, "An eye for an eye, a son for a son. Lucerys will be avenged." Yes. Well, we know that we know that Rhaenyra is going to be on board for some revenge. For sure. After the ending of the first season. Obviously, that plot would make sense. And of course, the War of the Targaryens. Are we there yet? No. Yeah. Blood and Cheese will appear in the House of the Blood and Cheese will appear in House of the Dragon Season 2. Blood and Cheese. That was going to be an offshoot series, right? Wasn't it? Or something? Earlier this year, a few months ago, the series began filming in its second season. Inclusion of 2 characters who are key to the story. But told by George R.R. Martin in the book, and their presence also fits perfectly with the recently revealed information. Hess has directly asked about the inclusion of the plot Blood and Cheese, 2 very famous characters from Martin's readers. Yeah, I thought they were supposed to have like a spin-off or something. Huh. Yeah, at the moment, second season of House of Dragon does not have a premiere date, mostly because of the strike, probably, right? It was supposed to be 2024. From what I understand, it was going to be early 2024, like April or something. Because they were under rules of, because they were shooting in the UK, they were allowed to go and finish shooting their season. So it's all in the can. Curious. Maybe late next year we'll get it. It's not going to be like some other things where you got to wait 2 or 3 years for the second season to come out. Ugh. Or like you got to wait 3 or 4 years for the second season. It just blows my mind how that works sometimes. All right. Yeah, so those are the season 2 details. Whoops. Chris Shelby says, I'm hoping Michael Keaton doesn't turn down Beetlejuice 2, James. Well, he's already in it. Yeah, he's already in it. They've already shot it. Beetlejuice 2 is done. We're like a day and a half away from being done. I'm hoping that the rest of the episodes of Ahsoka don't fail, because that would be terrible, like Star Wars The Last Jedi movies fan base, James. No, actually, the people that are watching Ahsoka are liking it. It's just, it's not, it doesn't have that wide appeal. People in mass are not watching Ahsoka in the high numbers like they were watching Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Book and Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, because they were mediocre, really damaged the fan base. And it's surprising how much that can damage your fan base. Actually, it shouldn't be that surprising that it should damage your fan base. When you create mediocre stuff and go, oh, maybe this should have been kept as a movie instead of a series. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, it happens. All right, let's move on. Drew Barrymore. Guys, what's going on here? She's splashed all over the headlines. Drew Barrymore halts talk show return after backlash. Will resume when strike ends. Yeah, last week she had decided that Drew Barrymore does like a talk show, daytime talk show, where she has guests on. So it's kind of like, yeah, you don't really need a whole lot of writers in the room if you're going to bring on a guest to talk about just stuff. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, maybe about stuff like that. It doesn't have to be about movies all the time. It doesn't. But no, she doesn't talk about Bigfoot or Sasquatch. If she did, maybe I would start checking out her show. But anyway, she said that, she was going to start to come back just like Bill Maher and, just have this interview show. It would be an interview show. Fine. But then it was also learned that she was going to bring in some scabs to help, I guess, put that show, the interview show, back together. And then everybody was like, oh, Drew, what are you doing? No, you can't do that. That's terrible. That's awful. That's disgusting. And then she said, okay, fine. We won't do that. I apologize for all of this stuff. And then in her apologies, I guess that didn't go over all that well. So she deleted her apology video. And now she's saying straight up, she's halting the show. It was just bad PR. I don't think she has any nefarious purpose in there to undermine what was going on with the strikes and stuff like that. But it was kind of like, there's a certain angle. If you got an interview show, why can't that continue going on? Right? Why can't it? But anyway, it was a big mess. It was disgusting. It was kind of like, and it sucks because, as I said, I don't think she had any of that in mind of, stomping on people's feet and making like a huge mess out of this. So she said on her Instagram, I've listened to everyone and I am making the decision to pause the show's premiere until the strike is over. I have no words to express my deepest apologies to anyone I have hurt, and of course to our incredible team who works on the show and has made it what it is today. We really tried to find our way forward. I truly hope for a resolution for the entire industry very soon. I hope too, also, Drew, that we get a resolution to the strike soon. But the other talk shows, like The View, is still on, but again, they're not interviewing people about their movies and such. They're talking about politics. They're talking about other things, and there's room for shows like that to continue on. There definitely is. Forgo the opening monologues where you try to joke and stuff like that. You don't need that. Just go straight into the interviews, talking with people. That's what Rogan does on his podcasts. He doesn't open up with a monologue. Just get straight down to the meat. Yeah, so that's what's going on with Drew Barrymore. I thought it was worth, again, because it's in the headlines, people are talking about it. It is entertainment news. That's what we do here on the channel. Pomo there in the live chat says that's what, why? Why what? Our Glass says, Drew must be just frustrated, twiddling her thumbs, wanting to make content and engage with audiences. I can empathize. Yeah. Yeah, there's a dicey, there is categorically, because The View doesn't qualify as a news show or as a scripted show, they're still allowed to work. And talk shows should still qualify for that. But if you got things in there like monologues or skits, where you require writers, which I do think Drew Barrymore did have, then you kind of have to have writers, and then you should recuse yourself from participating in that kind of a show. That's why you don't have late night shows either right now, because they have opening monologues. They got skits. And it's going to be curious to see what Bill Maher does with his opening monologue, if he's going to be doing his monologue anymore. I don't think he will. He'll just cut to the interviews. Pomo says the Nun 2 defeating Haunting in Venice. Yeah, we opened up with that story. At the box office, Nun 2 did defeat the Haunting in Vegas. Venice. Yeah. All right. Russell Brand was in the news over the weekend, guys, starting on, late Thursday night, and then Friday we talked about this. Russell Brand allegations, Channel 4, where the host rose to fame, challenges internal investigation. So he's fighting back now. Yeah, some allegations had come out that he had mistreated some women in some very bad ways. Now, let's get to what my points are about this, is that they're allegations. I know that some people out there would like to say goodbye to Russell Brand and have him swept underneath the rug, because he's somebody who does push buttons. He's loud, he talks, he's very opinionated, and sometimes those opinions get him in hot water, and it gets him notoriety, right? Because he's so out there sometimes with his ideas, and then sometimes he'll say something that's a little bit smart, and people will say, well, that's interesting, I want to listen to his podcast or something. But some women have come out and said that they have been mistreated by him. I don't have a stake in this, but I have seen other pundits in this atmosphere go to bat for Brand, saying that all of this is just hit pieces because they want to get rid of him. They don't like him. It's like, careful, guys, careful. That's all I say. It's like, I'm not going to publish a video defending somebody until they've had their day in court. Because I don't want a video out there of me defending somebody, like if it comes to pass that he did all of these things, then you got a video of me going to bat for him, and we've got a very Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis situation on our hands. You don't want that to happen. And I've seen one guy out there publish like 3 or 4 videos. Oh, this is a hit piece. Oh, they're just out to get him. Because it's like, careful, man. Because you're going on the record. And if it comes to pass that it's true that he did these things, then you're on the World Wide Web defending this guy. I let him make his case. He's fighting back. He's saying that, no, this is all alleged. There's no evidence of this. I didn't do this kind of thing. So let it run its course before you go out there and want to, defend him right all the way. Because in the end, it could look bad on you. It's just a word of caution is what I would say. Caution. Russell Brand should be in Treasure Planet live action as live role Dr. Doppler. Really? It is curious. Like that all of this comes to light now. But Russell Brand's kind of like, he does mistreat people. And I spoke about this on the weekend on Twitch, that I didn't like the way that he spoke to Emily Blunt on the Graham Norton show. She was trying to tell a story about her swimming with sharks, and then he like totally degraded her and demeaned her. And because of actions like that, people don't like Russell Brand. Can I play a small clip?
Filmed it.
That's a good story.
We've got the footage.
Not, I was near a fish once.
Yeah.
And 2 dolphins.
It was a shark. It came like that to me.
Yeah, so he does push buttons. I like Emily Blunt, so of course I'm going to side with Emily Blunt there. But that's part of a lot of people shtick, that if you can push buttons, you get people talking about you, then of course you're going to get audience members and fan bases. I don't tend to do a whole bunch of that pushing buttons. I know that outrage culture out there does exist, and you can build fan bases off of it. And are you doing this for your own self, James, or are you doing this so you want to make money? Then you'll go and talk about stories like this. But it's kind of like, yeah. Donald Glover said that he would like a Star Wars Lando Calrissian movie now in development, James. Yeah, we talked about that on Friday, Chris. Emily Blunt was nasty to Russell Brand in the green room. I don't doubt that either. What, beforehand or after this incident? Was she nasty to him before? I don't know. But as I said, because he's from the UK, I don't really have a whole lot of stake in what Russell Brand does. So we'll have to see where this lands eventually. We'll keep our eye on it. It's kind of hard not to, because it is splashed everywhere. Sorry to keep Emily Blunt there on there. But yeah, he was married to Katy Perry once too, right? Had a knowledge of alleged behaviors, adding it up to recently safeguarding and to whistleblowing practices. Yeah. I'll keep my eye on it to see where it goes. Christopher says, yes, beforehand, so it blew out on the show. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch that full episode. I only watched that clip. I think it came up because I was looking at Emily Blunt. I don't know why. But anyway, Chris Schober, I'm wondering if Nicolas Cage will reprise his role as the character for the National Treasure 3, James. Well, they were wanting to do a National Treasure 3, and that was going to come to pass, but it wasn't going to have Nicolas Cage at first, from what my understanding of that story was. And then I think they will come back to it. They realize, oh, yeah, we need Nicolas Cage in this. All right, let's go on to Sylvester Stallone. What's going on here? Sylvester Stallone says he's done with Rambo. Well, good. You shouldn't even have made that last one where he goes to Mexico and then they come back to his ranch and he's got all these underground caves. It's like, what the heck is this? This is a far cry from what the original Rambo was supposed to be. Yeah. And he wishes that he directed Cobra himself. Really? Stallone was at the Toronto International Film Festival. Really? Was he? I should have walked downtown a little bit more. If I ran into Stallone walking around downtown having a coffee or something, that would have been cool. Our own Brian. So in an interview, Rambo, I could leave him, Stallone said. Quote, he's done pretty much, even though they want to do another one, but what am I fighting? Arthritis? Yeah. Rumors were that they were going to have a prequel in which the character would go back to Vietnam. I think it's going to happen, Stallone said. Last year, I wanted to do it like Ken Burns' documentary on Vietnam, where you drop young Rambo in there. And he's this outgoing guy, football captain, and then you see why he becomes Rambo. Yeah, there's a story to be told there. Like he's football captain, and then something snaps in him where he turns into that efficient kind of killer kind of thing with a crew that he admires. And remember in the first Rambo, he had what gave him PTSD was that his crew basically gets all cut up and stuff. And then when some of them come back, they all get ostracized from society, right? And there was the culmination of that thing that was leading to his incident, his unpleasantness in Rambo Part 1. Yeah, there's flashbacks to it too, and I like that. But what they wanted to do is a modern day story where I pass the torch. That's getting close. No, you don't need to see him passing the torch to somebody. I don't know. No. So, Cobra is a movie that I haven't thought about in a long time. Cobra IMDb. Cobra was a movie that came out in 1986, and he was very particular about these glasses. I remember that the director and producers were like, you can't wear these glasses because you'll see the camera in the reflection of it all the time, right? So they were constantly trying to work around the reflections in the glasses, but he was like, no, this character has these glasses. Anyway, 1986 Cobra. I don't even remember what it's about. A tough-on-crime street cop must protect the only surviving witnesses to a strange murderous cult with far-reaching plans. Bridget Nielsen is Ingrid in this one, yeah. They dated after a while after this one, didn't they? Or they got married for a little bit? I don't know. I can't remember. Some weird thing happened after that. don't remember that much more in this. Brian Thompson is Night Slasher. If we can find this one on Tubi as well. Cobra. Yeah, let's take a look for that one. Yeah, some of these older 80 ones I want to take a look at. Maybe I'll do a retro trailer reaction later. Cobra. Or did I already do one? I don't think I did. Cobra 1989 trailer. No, James, what the heck is going on there? See if anybody else has posted a review for it. Cobra. No? Not seeing it. There must be a Hindi movie called Cobra or something. Huh. Yeah. I have to look for that. Tubi Tuesdays. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, that's a good call. Let's see if it is on Tubi. Or what we could do is start putting up polls. I'll say, guys, anything on Tubi, let's watch. You guys can go through the Tubi catalog and say, okay, so Tubi's not on there. Or sorry, Cobra's not on Tubi. What else are we looking for? Dog Soldiers. Stop that. Dog Soldiers is on there, guys. Now, I don't know if what the rating is. Thriller. Okay, so we found Dog Soldiers there. What is the other one? Dead Again, right? Dead Again. Is that Branagh? Comedy horror? Directed by Stephen M. Smith? No, that's not it. So that's not on there. Fascinating. There's just so much garbage on Tubi. It's hard to sift through all of it. There are some quality films on there, though, for sure. But some of them are just extremely laughable. Dark Exorcism. Daybreakers was good. The Curse of the Blair Witch. Yeah, like B-movie schlock that didn't have the money to get through. Man in the Iron Mask. Yep, man. Cool. The Nightingale. Really interesting. All right. Sorry to get sidetracked there. Let's go on to some hit or miss, which I don't really have that much of. The Batman. It took 80 takes to capture the final scene between the Dark Knight and the Riddler, Matt Reeves reveals. Really? This just goes to echo what I was saying about working with a scene and improv and, trying different techniques, different approaches to a way that a scene could be played out. And apparently Paul Dano is somebody who likes to do that, which is cool. So in an interview with The Guardian, Matt Reeves says, Paul loves doing a lot of takes, as do I. We took 2 days on the final scene between him and Robert Pattinson as Batman, and we must have easily done 70 to 80 takes. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. The danger of doing that many takes, though, is kind of like, well, you've got so many takes, and take 23 was good. Take 43 was also really good. Take 47 was good. Take 63 was also good. I can't decide. There's the danger of that happening, right? And then Could you possibly, through editing, stitch some of what you liked from each take into the final cut? Possibly. But yeah, it was captured in 80 attempts. Wow. Next, 10 Star Wars 10 A-list actors who have voiced characters in the franchise. Fascinating. Elijah Wood, Jace Ruckland in Star Wars Resistance. Never watched Resistance. Angelica Houston played Sith Mother in Visions. I need to watch Visions. I just never got around to it. Jason Isaacs was the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels. Well, we knew that. When we watched Obi-Wan and the Grand Inquisitor showed up in the Obi-Wan series, people were like, well, why didn't you just get Jason Isaacs? Which would have been better. I don't know why they didn't, but money-wise, scheduling maybe. David Tennant, Huang, Clone Wars and Ahsoka. Well, we knew that because we're watching Ahsoka right now. Bryce Dallas Howard was Yaddle in Tales of the Jedi. Cool. I think I knew that. Yeah, I knew that because of Bryce Dallas Howard. I follow whatever she does because she's awesome. Lucy Liu is Koro in Star Wars Visions. Alison Brie was Am in Star Wars Visions. Cool. I really do like Alison Brie. George Takei. Takei? Is it Takei? Yeah, right. Was General Locke Durd in Senchu in Star Wars Visions. Fascinating. David Harbour was Tajin in Star Wars Visions. Didn't know that. Visions is certainly making the case that I should watch it, huh? David Oyelowo was in Star Wars Rebels as Alexander Callis. Is that it? Huh. Visions is definitely making a case that I should check that out. Timothée Chalamet, Arglass says, Dog Soldiers is kind of blood. It would be PG-13 and it's rather gory. Is it? As long as there's no nudity in it, then we should be fine. Timothée Chalamet says it's confirmed to be Nightwing. No, it's not. What? Who said that? The Star Wars Vision Season 1 and 2 are good, James. I loved it. Okay, good. Well, there's a testimonial from Chris Schober. Let's see if we can find any evidence. If he is, then it's breaking. From my understanding, no. And it wouldn't be Nightwing. They were going to actually try to bring in Robin. I know that there's some fan art out there. Yeah, we saw the fan art. Because I pulled that story 11 days ago. Timothy Nightwing casting wishes come true. No, they don't. Let's put on some tools here. Let's say in the past week. Should be a wide enough net. Get any hits on it? No, not happening. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let's go over to the Twitterverse, or Xverse, they call it now. Whatever. See if I missed anything. Greta Lee. Florence Pugh is releasing a new song with Flight this Wednesday, September 20th. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's right. She did have a YouTube channel, didn't she, of where she was releasing some of her music? That's cool. I do like Florence Pugh. Something tells me, though, that her and I wouldn't get along. I don't know why, though. Good Burger 2 is now streaming November 22nd on Paramount Plus. That's got to be somebody's most anticipated movie of the year, right? No? Yes? First look at Sarah Zanday's rom-com The Other Zoe, starring those people. Okay. I don't know who those people are. But I do like to take a look at some younger casts every now and then to keep my eye on the pulse of who's coming up through the ranks. So, sorry, Josephine Langford, Drew Starkley, Archie Renault, and Mallory Johnson. Never heard of any of you, but I do now, sort of, yes. Kiwi Kwan on the set of Loki Season 2. Yes, is he going to be enough to make me go back and finish watching Loki Season 1 so I can watch Loki Season 2? No. Okay, what do we got here? A new clip from the creator has been released. Yep. Barry Keoghan on Saltburn. It's been submitted for Oscar consideration. Best Actor. Huh. A new featurette for Loki Season 2 has been released. Casino Royale director Martin Campbell says he was concerned that Daniel Craig wasn't sexy enough to be James Bond. Oh, yeah. That shot of him coming out of the water. Yeah, trust me. Made many people flutter. People like Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan, they were all traditional-looking Bonds. All handsome guys. All very attractive to women. No, people like Daniel Craig. New images from Money Heist spin-off Berlin. I never watched Money Heist. Wes Anderson says before Writers Guild strike began, he had just finished working on a script with Roman Coppola. Benicio del Toro and Michael Cera are set to star. Well, that's an interesting. And I said that Michael Cera, he's somebody who does do some dramatic roles here and there. I liked him in the Barbie movie. I liked him in Molly's Game. So he can do some dramatic chops. That'll be interesting from Wes Anderson. Heaven is in place. Stop making sense. Michael Cera to star in his next film. Yeah, we watched the trailer for A Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Was that Friday show? Love at First Sight. Jacob Elordi. Submitted for Oscar consideration for Saltburn. Really? The Saltburn's getting a little bit of buzz there. Rosamund Pike, Alison Oliver have been submitted. Okay, so they're basically pushing everybody in that movie. Scorched Trials. New images from Percy Jackson and the Olympians. What the heck is going on there? That's that guy. That's the kid from Adam Projects playing Percy Jackson. This is a project that's gotten a little bit of backlash because of the casting. They say, well, these are the... She's playing the Rosario Dawson character from the movies, right? And they're like, that's not the way it should be, blah, blah, blah. It's like, get out of here. Wait until until the series comes out and then give a judgment, right? That's the way I look at it. More from Bottoms. Yeah, damn. Digital platforms this Friday. Bottoms is playing in the Art House Theater, and I was going to go see it yesterday, but I got caught up watching that football match. Hear a car honking its horn outside. I hope it's not my car. Raunchy, coming of age story, Bottoms, right? Everybody who's seen Bottoms have said that it's been good. Wait a minute, there's a ranking for It Lives Inside, 85%. Well, that settles it. I'm seeing It Lives Inside this weekend instead of Expendables 4. No, Bottoms. I want to take a look at Bottoms. It's supposed to be like one of the better movies of the year. 93% by critics, 90% by the audience who have seen it. Comedy. 1 hour and 28 minutes. Rachel Sennott. Yeah. I kind of loved it. Oh, thanks for the quote there. I kind of loved it. Yeah, that's very insightful. Boston Globe. I love every twisted, hilarious minute of this violent high school comedy. Violent. Bottoms, because as I've told you before, once more, I'm a sicko. Okay. So you have to be a little bit off to watch this movie is what I'm getting. Which is fine. You know, I can go to those weird places too. So But it's coming out this Friday on streaming services, huh? Byung-hee Bong has passed away, 81. Happy birthday to Jason Sudeikis 11 hours ago. It's his birthday? Happy birthday. What's this? Halle Berry is trending. Why? Oh yeah, because of the Drake story. She got slimed, and then Drake's using that as his album cover. You know, you need permission for that. Kirsten Dunst via Instagram has no clue why his mom MJ. Huh. That'll give fuel for the fodder. If she posted that on her Instagram, people will be like, oh, she signed on to be in Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. They're going to do it with Sam Raimi. They're going to do it. She's coming back. Nah, you're probably going to see a headline like out there from somebody like Mike Zero. I'm looking at you, man. No. Sicario 8 years ago today. Haunted Mansion is on Disney Plus October 4th. Oh, I'm sure that lots of people are looking forward to that. Werewolf by Night. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Oppenheimer is now Nolan's third highest grossing film. Yeah, we knew that on Friday. All right. What? Oh, it's 11:50. Yeah, we've gone on. So, yeah, later this afternoon we'll be on the Twitch stream. I don't know what we'll be doing. Maybe we'll be watching Dog Soldiers. Who knows? Who knows? 1 p.m., guys. Come join us for that. I'm going to go have my breakfast. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. Join us tomorrow for To Be Tuesday. Maybe To Be Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like watching stuff with you guys. Maybe we can burn through first episode of Peaky Blinders tomorrow or something. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Catch you next time on Mirror Domains.